Hello. Today we're exploring a deeply personal story that was shared online, one that touches on the double challenge of recovering from a physical injury while also dealing with emotional isolation. I'm going to start by reading the post exactly as it was written, in the author's own words. Hello, I'm 26, and I want to ask for advice and just share with someone something a little different than cheating, bad partners, etc. At the beginning of the year, I had an accident and broke my leg, a multiple fracture of the lower leg. On January 5th, I had surgery and I have metal fixations in my leg, which sounded like something terrible and irreparable to me. As of today, I'm better. Yesterday, they removed my stitches and everything is going according to plan. But somehow, I feel very depressed at times. Many of my loved ones and even my family don't come to see me, normal, human, to ask how I'm doing, to sit down and talk. I keep thinking that when I communicate with someone close, I'll feel better, but alas, no one does. My sister, with whom I was very close, has only come here 3-4 times in all this time, and that weighs on me a little. I apologize if I have bored you. I needed to share with someone and for some adequate advice. Have a nice day. Wow. First, to the person who wrote this, thank you for having the courage to share this. What you're going through, that mix of intense physical healing and this really profound emotional loneliness, is incredibly difficult. Your story matters. It's being heard, and now, let's explore a path forward together. So the very first and most important thing to know is that these emotional swings, from feeling motivated one moment to despairing the next, that's an absolutely normal part of healing. Think about it. After a major physical trauma and surgery, your body and your mind are working overtime to adapt. Your whole system is trying to recalibrate after a huge shock. This isn't a sign of weakness at all. It's actually a sign that you're in a deep process of recovery. And that very specific fear, that question, will I ever walk normally again? Well, that actually has a name. It's called recovery anxiety. It's not just you being negative. It's a recognized, totally expected part of the psychological side of recovery. Your brain is just trying to map out a future that suddenly feels really uncertain. And sometimes just being able to put a name to it can take away some of its power. Okay, let's talk about what is often the most painful part of this whole experience. That feeling of being let down by the very people you thought you could count on. When you're at your most vulnerable and the people you love seem to be distant, that silence can feel, well, it can feel like a judgment. Like you're truly all alone in this. And that is a deeply, deeply painful feeling. You know, it can sometimes help to understand the psychology that might be behind this. Now, this doesn't excuse the lack of support, not at all, but it can help us reframe it. Instead of jumping to the conclusion that they just don't care, we can consider the possibility that they may not know how to care right now. Seeing someone they love injured can bring up their own fears about vulnerability. They can feel so helpless that they pull away, not realizing that just their presence is what you need most. Understanding the why is one thing, but now let's shift into what you can do. Let's get practical. This next part is all about a toolkit for healing. Real, actionable strategies you can start using today to support yourself and begin rebuilding those connections, but on your own terms. You know, we often carry this belief that people should just know what we need, but that's a really tough expectation. The truth is, people are often just waiting to be told how they can help. Being super direct and specific takes all the guesswork and anxiety away from them. A small, concrete request like, hey, could we have a 10-minute video chat tomorrow, is so much easier for someone to say yes to than a vague, I need your support. This is all about making it easy for people to show up for you. Now, alongside getting support from others, it is absolutely vital to build your own internal strength. Our minds can get so stuck on the big, distant goal, like walking normally again, that we totally miss the progress that's happening every single day. Shifting your focus to small victories, I'm talking about standing for a few extra minutes or taking one more step than yesterday, that literally rewires your brain. It creates a track record of success, building your confidence from the ground up. You might even try keeping a little log of these wins, no matter how tiny they seem. These are practices you can do for yourself, especially in those moments when you feel alone. An emotion journal isn't about solving anything. It's just about getting those swirling feelings out of your head and onto the page. Visualization is a powerful tool. Athletes use it all the time. It strengthens the brain's pathways for movement even when you're physically resting. And writing a kind, supportive letter to yourself, it actually activates the same parts of the brain as receiving compassion from someone else. You literally become your own best ally. It's also so important to find ways to counterbalance all the stress of recovery. Remember, healing is something you're going through. It's not who you are. Intentionally creating these little micro joys, putting on your favorite music, making a cup of tea, watching a comforting movie, reminds your nervous system that it's safe to relax. A simple breathing exercise can stop an anxiety spiral in its tracks. These small, consistent actions help you create a sense of normalcy and control when so much feels out of your hands. As we start to wrap this up, I want to leave you with what is maybe the single most important takeaway. Please hear this. Recovery is not a straight line. There will be good days, and there will be bad days. Having a moment of despair does not, I repeat, does not erase all of your progress. It doesn't mean you're failing. It's just part of the jagged, uneven, but ultimately forward-moving path of healing. I want you to remember this powerful truth. Even on the days you feel stuck or low or like nothing is happening, your body is working tirelessly. It's mending bone, rebuilding tissue, and reconnecting nerves. And your spirit is navigating this huge emotional landscape. You need to acknowledge the incredible unseen work that is already happening. You are resilient, right here, right now, in this very moment. So I'll leave you with this question. Not what will you do tomorrow or next week, but what can you do today? What is one small act of self-support you can do for yourself right now? Will you write those 3 sentences in a journal? Will you take a minute to visualize yourself taking one strong step? Or maybe you'll send that text asking a friend for a 5-minute call. The path to healing is built one small intentional act at a time, and it starts now.